today's episode of Bet Bath and Beyond, Andy and Ann talk about movies the entire time. We do not discuss the NFL because it's not what we do anymore. We're transitioning.
Andrew, what is your favorite movie of all time? And let me say, the criteria for favorite movie of all time is basically you can only watch one movie for the rest of your life.
Oh, fuck.
So it's rewatchability, which is kind of what I already define as my favorite movie. It's a movie that you can watch as many times as you want and you'll never get sick of it.
God. While I think about that, we're going to roll the intro.
Well, wait, I want to talk about mine.
Oh, my. Go for it.
No, I'll say it after the intro. We'll tease it.
That's what we're doing now. You're not going to want to
Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
I already knew that. God damn it.
3, 2, 1, go. I am Ian Peacock.
And I am Andy Heidemann. And I hate sports betting. No matter what you say, I'm betting 100 on it tonight.
Welcome to Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
The only ride that gets sea salt water right in your mouth.
And in your eyeballs.
So Pirates of the Caribbean, I think I knew that about you. I definitely knew that that's your favorite movie. And that's a good movie. Have you seen Jungle Cruise yet?
No, I haven't, but I actually want to because it has those vibes. It has those
it does.
Disney adventure vibes.
It definitely has. We went and saw that on opening night.
Who's we?
It was
we?
Ashlyn and I went and saw it, and it was.
You said her name, dude. You said her name.
Yeah.
You've never said her. You've never said her name before. You've made me. You've made me go back and bleep her name out of this podcast before.
Oh, it's super funny because now that doesn't matter because you don't have anything to do with the editing of the podcast anymore.
Well, does that mean you still want her name? Robbie giving us with the hang 10. So does that mean that you're cool with it? Can you say her last name? I don't know. Can you say her last name for people?
Nah, and I will not. Dude, we're so wishy-washy on what we will and what's we have friends who will make bets. We're we can't say their name, but then we'll sit here and be like, and my address is this. This is where I live.
Well, here's the thing. It's if I like you, I will probably not say your name on this podcast to give yourself
you say my name all the time.
Some identity. If I don't like you, like Adam, who does the other podcast with you, I'll say his name up and down the street. I'll yell it into the internet.
I would definitely, but when we saw Jungle Cruise, I didn't actually expect Pirates of the Caribbean vibes when I went to see it, and when I left, I was that was very much like Pirates of the Caribbean, which I thought was cool.
But I need to watch it. I need to watch that.
I would recommend it. Now, as far as my favorite movie in the sense of rewatchability, it's kind of tough because I think in the years past I would have said The Wolf of Wall Street because it's long and it's broken up into a lot of parts. But I've also already seen it a billion times. So at this point in my life, I don't know if I could be like,
I could watch that movie. That's a great movie. Yeah. I would watch that movie.
Yeah, but how many times have you seen it? Maybe if you had to ballpark it,
maybe 6 or 7.
And this is conservative and it sounds ridiculous, but I have seen that movie. It has to be near 80 to 90 times.
There's no way.
Listen
absolutely
to me. No, there was a point in
it's
time.
It's a 3-hour movie, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm aware. And I'm telling you, there was a time in high school where I for homework, when I didn't have to work or I didn't have football practice, during the off season, I would come home and I just throw it on the TV and just do homework while I watched it. For 2 months. I just would watch it and do homework.
That's disgusting.
It is
disgusting.
And it was so good every single time, but I'm 25. I've seen that movie so many times. It's good.
How old is Ashlyn?
Well, I should give you her social security number so that way. By the way,
this is actually a real question. Is she older or younger than you?
Older.
Okay.
Speaking of
how many years older than you is she?
43 and a half. Actually, while we're on the topic of couples, do you have your list of restaurants?
For
For me, you motherfucker. For me.
For what purpose?
For New Year's Eve.
What are we doing something on New Year's Eve? I'm gonna be out of town.
You're a dumb bitch.
I'm gonna be out of town. I'm gonna be in California.
Did you know that Russell Wilson said he would waive his no trade clause for only 3 teams?
Is one of them for the Panthers?
No, one of the 3 of them are New York Giants, the New Orleans Saints, and the Denver Broncos.
Did we already talk about this?
We had talked about like where we might want Russ to land, but it officially came out that these are the teams that he would waive his no trade clause for.
I could see him. Okay, this is a good transition. Wait, no. Nice try, Andrew. You tricked me. You need to give me your best movie before we talk any sports. And I'm sure
I guess, yeah. I mean,
viewers at home want you to give it as soon as possible so we can actually talk about sports, which is what this podcast is mainly about.
Ad Astra.
Is that real? Is that you're okay?
No, that's not that's not real. If I had to, like, a movie that I like to sit down and watch, I really like the movie Tombstone. Have you ever seen that?
The Western?
Yeah, with Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer and Sam Elliott.
Very, very long time ago.
That's actually one of my favorite movies of all time. That definitely makes the list.
Interesting. I can dig it. I need to go back and rewatch it. I was a little kid. This is a really old movie.
It is an old movie. Actually, and if you watch the trailer, it is like right at the transition of when the movie trailer guy with the voice, like, in a world, blah blah blah.
In a world where
it was before that. It was before they figured out that formula. So the trailer is really bad. Like, you watch the trailer and you're like, I've seen the movie.
I just looked it up. The movie was made in 1993. It came out in 1993.
Before I was born.
Same.
So I would say Tombstone might be my pick.
That's weird. That's a weird pick.
I mean, it's also a long movie, and I'm trying to think of movies that, like,
I think you botched that pick. It's an interesting, unique pick. I don't necessarily think it's a good one.
I really like it. I mean, I don't want to pick something too serious because it's the only movie you can watch for the rest of Moneyball. Maybe I pick Moneyball. I love Moneyball.
I think that's a good pick. With 2 great actors, a great storyline. It's good. That's a good pick.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood also might be a pick. Have you seen that yet?
Of course I've seen it. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times already.
It's
I love
really
Quentin Tarantino. Good. I don't think I could watch a Quentin Tarantino for the rest of my life.
Talladega Nights.
That's a good one. Comedies,
actually,
lighthearted movies that kind of have fresh or just jokes that can kind of stay relevant, stay fresh after the 100th time. That's always good. Like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, that's high on the list for me. That's a great movie.
That's the one where he's like playing the piano and he's singing about therapy, and he's like, I'm not going.
Yeah, I'm not going. Yes, you are. I'm not going. Okay, we got this needs to stop. Okay. I want to know Robbie's favorite movie of all time.
Ooh.
And don't say you don't know because you've had like 10 minutes while we've been.
Oh, I know. It's Grand Budapest Hotel.
That is a great movie. That is a phenomenal movie.
That's good.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's beautiful.
Fantastic Mr. Fox is up there for me as one of the greatest movies of all time.
That one's also.
I would rank that top 3 as well.
Have either of you seen The French Dispatch yet?
Not yet.
Yes,
it was very good. I thought it was very good. Did you like it, Robbie?
I liked it a lot. Yeah,
it's Wes Anderson.
It's kind of weird to say that it's different because it has definitely the same Wes Anderson feel to it, but it is definitely different in the sense it's kind of like 3 short stories, and the movie's main plot is not what the movie's about. It's kind of bizarre, right?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's not it's what you are expecting going in, but there's enough differentiating factors where you still leave like, oh, I wasn't expecting that to happen.
And Owen Wilson's in it.
Don't spoil it.
Spoilers, guy from Cars is in it.
Ka-ching.
Ka-chow. Easy with the confetti. Okay, so Russell Wilson, you want to transition now?
For those of you who have still stuck with us in the first 10 minutes, we are now going to transition to NFL for the rest of the podcast. Thank you.
Drum roll.
No, now you talk about Russell Wilson. Listen,
I already said the thing. You got to give me your answer.
I want Denver Broncos. I think that makes sense.
You want Denver Broncos.
I don't want it. I don't know why I said that.
I know. I was like, that's interesting.
I think it makes the most sense.
That makes sense to me. I think the Giants could make sense too. But I don't think Daniel Jones is terrible. He's young and he's on a rookie deal. Like anyone who trades for Russell Wilson is going to have to pay him a lot of money.
Daniel Jones isn't the problem in New York. They're just not a good franchise right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Same. New Orleans, I think could be fine, but Sean Payton's like a fucking weirdo. He's just a weirdo coach.
The thing that freaks me out about the Saints would be like Russ being like, I can't wait. I'm super hyped. Let's get it. And Michael Thomas being like, yeah, let's get it. And then he gets there and Michael Thomas is like, my hamstring hurts.
Michael Thomas is like, no, I don't really feel like it.
Yeah,
SpongeBob meme. I don't really feel like playing football this year. Don't make me play football this year.
Dude, SpongeBob. It's so weird how SpongeBob has transcended to be like the meme template for like our generation on the internet. It's so funny.
It's because SpongeBob is the greatest cartoon ever created.
Do you truly believe that? I think that could be true. I mean, like, are you over Bugs Bunny and like
I believe that in every sense of the word, deep into my core, SpongeBob is the greatest cartoon of all time.
One of my favorite SpongeBob quotes is SpongeBob is sandboarding and he's gonna fall from a super great height and he's like going head first and Sandy says, flip around to land on your bottom, it'll cushion your fall. And I don't remember what Patrick says, but Sandy looks at him after he says it and says, aren't you supposed to be stupid somewhere else?
No, your other bottom.
Yeah, there you go. And then Sandy says, aren't you supposed to be stupid somewhere else? And he looks at her and says, not until 4. And I don't know why, but that cracks me up every fucking time because I've seen him just be stupid the entirety of the whole show. And it's just, he's aware. He's fully aware. Like, I love the meme when he's got the board in his head. I love the meme when he's like, oh boy, 3 a.m. Like, Patrick is one of the greatest.
Oh boy, 3 a.m. is great. Like, who wants a Krabby Patty at 3 o'clock in the morning? Oh boy, 3 a.m. That's when the Krusty Krab is open 24/7 with the hash slinging slasher. Okay, we've done enough rabbit holes. Can we actually get into football?
Well, okay. I mean, I think that Russ again. No, the Giants. Their problem's not
too
whatever.
Bad. SpongeBob took up the most of the Russell Wilson talk, all of the Russell Wilson talk. So any Russell Wilson fans out there, it's over. It's over. We're no longer talking. That.
Okay, well, we're going to move on to your favorite subject then. On December 2nd, the Cowboys played the Saints on Thursday Night Football.
Okay, at least we're actually creating a narrative. We're going in order, okay?
Yes, sir.
I don't remember this game other than Taysom Hill, not good.
Yeah, not great.
Not good. I would say he's not good. The Saints are not good. They have a big QB identity crisis, okay? And the Cowboys, look, they showed up, they won, and they're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs.
That could be. I don't know. The Cowboys are weird. They started so hot, and they beat the Saints, but they lost 3 straight, and I don't know how good they are. That division is not good. The Giants aren't good. I mean, the Eagles are not good. The Washington football team, they're on the upswing, which is weird because they have a lot of injuries. Their whole defense is hurt. Like their star defense.
Logan Thomas.
Yep. Although that
came back for one game, scored a touchdown, and then peaced out.
Well, they said that he could have torn his ACL and MCL, but after further review, it may have just been a strain, not a tear. So he could be back this season. Maybe not for fantasy, but he might be back for if they end up making, like, say, a shallow playoff run. But anyway, Cowboys win it 27-17.
And I believe we both took the Cowboys in our picks last week.
Yes, we did. And actually, so here's the thing. I'll say it now. I had a phenomenal week for the picks, hence the fireworks.
Oh, I was wondering when those firework backgrounds would come into play.
You did not have a good week, and I actually had such a good week, and you had such a poor week that normally as I'm scoring them, I just delete them from the sheet, and then I replace them with the games from this week. But they're never truly gone because they're a copy of the last week's script. So I went into last week's script and pulled them, and I put them in this sheet because I know for a fact you're going to tell me I don't know if I believe you. So they're in the sheet.
First off, I don't know if I believe you. Second off, what was the week record for both of us?
So of 14 games, I went 11 for 14.
That's really good.
And you went 3 for 14.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not go 3 for 14.
Yes. Yeah. Based on the math, you were at 87, and you are now at 90.
What are you at?
90. We are tied.
We are not tied.
We are tied.
Andrew, we are not fucking tied right now.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are tied.
Well,
off,
that means you're picking first this week. Second off,
I'm fine with that.
Second off, I just don't believe that. 3 of 14, that is so astronomically bad. It's a 50-50 pick. It's a 50-50 pick.
Well, there's spreads. I wouldn't say that they're 50. I mean,
that's what it means. Yeah, that's what a spread means.
That's what the books think are 50-50. They're not truly 50-50. And I'm glad you brought that up, actually.
Why?
Well, because there's somebody else in this contest with us. And we had
who?
We had the prototype run last week, and they're now involved in the contest with us.
Can you please say her name? Why are you calling her the prototype?
Well, because it's not quite finished yet. We're still working on it. However, B3T Sports has a sports betting algorithm named B3tsy designed to help you bet smarter and win bigger. And it's a shameless plug. It's what B3T Sports is about.
You reading off
That's
a
the
prompter?
whole premise.
Are you reading off a prompter?
No, I'm staring into your eyes.
3 of 14. Give me a fucking break, dude.
Well, actually, I'll tell you. Do you want to? B3tsy right now so we're both 90 correct and 104 missed. B3tsy is 107 correct and 87 missed. So, I mean, even if this week we both go 100% and B3tsy goes 0, we still won't be caught up to her. She is 17 games ahead of us.
She is a minx, that B3tsy. She's a betting minx.
So we got Bucks Falcons. Bucks win it 30-17. For this one, let's see here.
I had the Bucks in this game.
I will be able to tell you that here in 1 second. No, you had Atlanta at plus 11.
That is a big spread. I probably, yeah.
That is a big spread.
That does make sense. I probably would have gone Atlanta.
You were so confident, and I was like, I can tell you. Give me 1 second. So Bucks end up winning it. I mean, Brady 4 touchdowns, 368 yards. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. Cordero Patterson 13 carries, 78 yards. I mean, he's like their whole offense. That Falcons team, though, based on everything,
they're so bad.
I don't know how they have 5 wins. It doesn't make any sense to me. I have no idea how they have 5 wins.
Well, they did have what's his nuts before he left.
Ridley?
Yeah, Calvin Ridley before he took a mental break, and he's obviously probably a top-tier wide receiver. You have Cordell Patterson, who is just an offensive threat all around. He can run, he can catch, he can hurdle. He
can pass.
And he's a fucking stud, especially in fantasy. He had a great first half, not so great second half. We'll get him next week.
Bucks have a scary defensive front. Bucks are good. Bucks are going obviously deep in the playoffs. That's just how it'll be. Next up, Cardinals. Bears. Cardinals win 33-22. Matt Nagy still has a job.
It's just shocking, but the Bears have never fired a head coach during the regular season. They will wait like gentlemen. Actually, the owner's a female, so they will wait like madams until the Bears ultimately don't make the playoffs, fall out, and then they will fire Nagy.
That is true. I agree with that. I mean, I don't agree with the process, but I agree with what you're saying. That's exactly what's going to happen. And we both had Arizona at 7.5. So there's another one for you.
That was one of my 2. So far I'm 2 I'm 2 for 3.
You are 2 for 3. That is correct. Next up, Chargers.
Just real quick, just because. What was the other game that I got right?
The other game that you got right. Let me look here.
Oh my God! Forget it, Andrew. Forget it.
Oh, I'm just Detroit one. We both had Detroit.
I did have Detroit winning. I actually had Detroit winning straight up, so that actually should count as double. That should count as 2 points.
Oh, then do I also get 2 points because I had Detroit winning?
No, you do not. You just had them covering. I had them actually winning.
Of course, I only had them covering. They're Detroit.
But I had
7.5 points. What are you fucking talking about?
I'm pretty sure I said they're gonna win.
I mean, you might have.
I think I did. So that's 2 points.
I don't think that. Well,
I love how you're sort of entertaining it.
I'm thinking, you know what? He did call it. I'm like, that'd be an interesting like mechanic for the future to be like, if you call your shot, like, but then it's minus 2 points if you're wrong.
Okay, from here on out, it's minus 2 points. If you're wrong.
I would be down for that. Like if you're like, here's the cover and they win, but only on underdogs.
Maybe something for next year. We can't taint the contest
not at all.
This far into the season.
Excuse me. But yeah, Chargers played really well. Chargers played like the team I thought they could be for the season. They beat the Bengals 41-22. Justin Herbert had 317 yards and 3 touchdowns. Eckler played like Austin Eckler. The Bengals are super weird to me. Now, I don't want to say the Bengals are bad. I don't think they're bad. I just don't think they're great. I think they've got a young coach, a young QB, a young wide receiver, and they are like on the urge of building something that's better than
they're on the urge.
What they are. Oh, what do you think about the Bengals? Because all you're gonna say is that they wear orange and are in your division, so they're shitty. Like that's all I'm gonna hear about.
Oh, really? That's actually not at all what I was gonna say, because I've said in the past that they're inconsistent, which is what they are. They'll play an amazing game, and Joe Burrow will throw 4 touchdowns and go for 300 yards. And, Jamar Chase will have 3 touchdowns as well. He was a touchdown magnet probably the first half of the season. He's kind of fallen off. He's kind of become human the second half. Joe Burrow, I don't know. He hasn't looked super great the past 2 or 3 games specifically.
He's looked a little rough.
So they have these peaks where they look really fucking good and can be a legit AFC championship contender. And then they have other games where you're like, yeah, this is a wild card, bottom of the barrel playoffs. They'll be lucky to win one game in the playoffs kind of team. They're definitely not terrible. I think they're going to make the playoffs. They'll probably make a wild card.
You think so?
I think they'll make a wild card.
I think I could see that. It's the playoff picture right now is kind of nutty. Like it's so open still, and the Bengals again. Yeah, you're right. They're inconsistent. They're streaky, but they're good enough that if they could sneak in there, that's definitely true.
I will say, I think that they are the second best AFC North team.
You really think so?
I mean,
AFC North. I'm sorry.
AFC
I thought you
North.
just meant.
So in the Ravens division, I have the Ravens at the top. I actually have the Bengals, then the Steelers, then the Browns. The Browns will always be poopy in my mind.
That's fine. Vikings, Lions. This one's for Robbie. Lions win 29-27.
Let's go, Robbie. Let's
Give it up for Robbie.
Let's go. The Lions win their first game of the season. Let's give the floor to Robbie.
I had to watch my social media. What? I guess good for them. It was a fun game.
That's true.
I only watched the last 2 minutes. I had to watch my friends and family on Facebook lose their fucking minds like we just won the goddamn Super Bowl.
Well,
we didn't win the Super Bowl.
That last touchdown.
We beat the fucking Vikings.
That last touchdown, though, was pretty tight.
It's also kind of sad because like when you are 0-10 or like 0-11 and you're like you are already mathematically eliminated from playoffs, you got to be like, yeah, as a player it sucks to lose, but if you've got decent pieces and you're like, okay, now we get a good draft pick, and you start winning a couple games at the end just because you're like, your front office is like, no, please, no, like because you're missing out on major capital in that first round.
They're going to pull a Jets from last year. They're going to win just enough to lose that first pick, and I hope they do, because fuck them.
I do.
Oh man,
I wish we had B3T sports analyst Alec on the show today, because as a Vikings fan, I would love to ask him how it felt to lose to the winless Lions?
I think he would tell you that it's about par for the course. They were due for one this year, and of course it would be divisional. I kind of assumed it would be divisional at some point because, like, in the NFL, any given Sunday, but these divisional matchups can be like wacky, right? Like teams lose in division all the time to teams they shouldn't lose to. Next up, Giants Dolphins. Dolphins win 28-9. Tua had a pretty all right game. I mean, like the rushing in this game sucked. Barkley was the leading rusher with 55 yards.
The Dolphins, though, they kind of look good, or at least they're heating up. I think they're heating up in the right time. Their defense, I saw a stat. I think they're averaging only letting up 11 points a game in the past 5 games.
I'd believe that, and that's what the Dolphins' defense was supposed to be, like coming into the season, just based on their personnel and their coaching and the way that things have been set up for them, like building wise for the future. And their defense sucked ass the first 4 or 5 games, and they got hurt a lot, and they lost weapons on offense. And they just, when their defense did play pretty all right, it wasn't enough to it wasn't enough. Like they couldn't score any points. So they're kind of getting some stuff back. Apparently, when Will Fuller hurt his finger, I guess it just fucking fell off because I don't know if that man's taken a snap this season. But they traded for him, they paid him big money, and now he's useless to them. I don't know. We talked about this too. The Giants are just bad in general. They're a badly run org. They're not going to win many games.
No, they're bad coaching all around. I have no faith in the Giants, except for I think they're good for one upset or two per season, usually against Tom Brady, like the Patriots or the Bucks, I feel like. But I think the Dolphins are – I think they're legit right now. I think they're legit. I think they can – what's their record?
The Giants or the Dolphins are 6-7.
Not the fucking Giants. Okay, they're 6-7. I could see them. What it's 17 games now, so I could see them going 9-8. I think I could see them going 9-8.
I don't know what their schedule looks like either. I'd be kind of curious to see that.
Fuck it. Let me do it real quick because any Dolphins fans that fucking listen to us. So they play the Jets next week, so let's give that win. Let's give that win to them. So they're going to be 500. Then they have the Saints, which is winnable. They have the Titans, which is okay, and then they'll probably lose to the Patriots last game of the season.
Lose. That'll be a loss.
So that's a 9-8 record right
there. Although I'm pretty sure they've already lost to the Patriots once this season.
And I want to say they're always due for a win against the Patriots.
I want to say that they've gone 500 against the Patriots like the last 5 years or something like that.
Well, there you go. So 10-7.
They're going undefeated the rest of the season.
10-7.
That's fucking crazy. We called it. Let us see what else we got here. The Jets. Eagles beat the Jets 33-18. I'm not that surprised. Zach Wilson is fucking terrible. Although Gardner Minshew played for the Eagles.
Yeah.
20 for 25, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He was jacked up after the game. I saw a video of him meeting up with his dad in the parking lot, and they were all fucking jizzed.
Were they shotgunning beers?
Yeah, dude. They were all jizzed up in Philly right there. All jizzed up. He took his pants off, and he started jizzing on his dad, and his dad took his pants off and started jizzing on his son. And then Roger Goodell came in and said, you can't do that, and fined him.
That's a fine. That's taunting.
Find them both.
It's funny if you were ever curious about like what they put on the light poles to keep people from climbing them after the Super Bowl. It was Gardner Minshew's jizz.
I thought it was. I thought
it was Crisco.
I thought it was Eagle droppings, Eagle turd.
That game was. I didn't watch this game, and I feel like every single time you and I talk about the Eagles, we're always. It's 1 week we're like. We were a little hard on the Eagles. And then the next week, the Eagles fucking suck. And maybe we were a little hard on the Eagles. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
They're 6-7. That division's not good. We've already talked about it. Like, I don't know. Maybe they could make the playoffs too. That could be. They're 1 game behind. Like anyone in the NFC they're there for the taking except for the Lions. So next up, Colts, Texans.
Let me tell you, I know that they're in a division together. I hate when these 3 teams play each other. The Houston Texans, the Tennessee Titans, and the Indianapolis Colts. When those three teams play each other, it could be any combination of those three teams. I don't care about the game at all. I could care less about any game of all time. I mean,
we could just throw the whole division in there. The Jags are part of that division. And I would say if you throw the Jags in there, I also don't.
The Jags are at least a little interesting this year. One, because of their new coach and their new quarterback. Sure. Okay, both in the limelight every week. Both super used to winning in college and now are terrible in the NFL. It's actually poetic and it's entertaining. So I'm going to leave the Jags out of this. The Texans, the Titans, and the fucking Colts. I couldn't care less. I could not care less when those three teams play each other. So I'm not talking about this game. I'm not talking about this game.
That's fine. 31-0, another shutout. The Jonathan Taylor
Texans
is good at football.
Suck, dude. Texans suck.
Why they do suck?
Okay, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about this game, and I'm not going to talk about this game, but I will talk about the Colts, specifically Jonathan Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and this is not just my opinion, but this is the opinion of other respected sports media personnel.
Like ourselves.
I believe Jonathan Taylor is the leading candidate as of right now for MVP.
I could see that. I don't think he'll win it. I don't think it's possible that he can win it.
I think it's possible if two people play bad probably the rest of the season and Jonathan Taylor continues to do what he's doing every game. I think if Tom Brady somehow falls off the wagon, and I think if Aaron Rodgers falls off, I can't see any other player. I genuinely can't see any other player besides Jonathan Taylor winning, because those are the three people that come to my mind.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor, it's against the Texans, and obviously, don't want to sugarcoat it too much, but 32 carries, 143 yards, another 2 touchdowns. And this dude, I think, is leading the league in touchdowns on the ground, and he had 0, I want to say, his first 2 weeks. He just couldn't find the end zone. I mean, the dude is playing at a phenomenal rate. So, we'll see.
But for real, who else besides Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Jonathan Taylor? There's no one else.
Tom Brady is at the top for me just because of, again, he threw 4 touchdowns this week. If he does that another time so far, I don't know if anyone would catch him. I just don't. Assuming he continues to play all the rest of the games.
Sure.
But, even Aaron Rodgers, he missed a game. His stats
the COVID narrative.
Seriously, I feel like that's going to be a thing.
Sure.
Other people, Kyler was really strong at the beginning, but he missed so much time. He missed 4 games.
That disqualified him right there. I think he was a leading candidate, but injuries, you're missing a fourth of the season.
Yep. Dak was really strong, but he's played not that great the last 3 games. I think you might be right in the sense that there's just no one else to get it. So maybe that could be the case. Next up, Washington versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Washington wins 17-15. Both these teams are 6-6.
And let us not forget that the Raiders started off, I want to say 4-0. That's all.
I want to be upset. I want to be upset about that for the Raiders, but at the same time, why would I be upset?
They've had a difficult season.
That's putting it mildly. Jaguars, Rams. Jaguars, they did it. They scored 7 points. And then the Rams scored 37 points. 295 yards and 3 touchdowns from Stafford. 121 yards on the ground by Sony Michel. Cooper Kupp had 129 yards in the air.
Odell got another touchdown. Yay.
He did. Odell got a touchdown.
Yay, Odell.
The next game up. Ravens, Steelers, divisional matchup. Steelers win 20-19. What do you got to say about this game?
Did you watch any of this game?
No, this is a game I did not happen to catch. This was in my parlay, though. My 10-team parlay was 8 for 10 this week. I won 2 of the 3 smaller ones that paid out $60. So I tripled my rate of return on my $20 for parlay bet for the week. However,
did you actually bet this, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean?
No,
I haven't been writing my.
Did you actually put the money down? Did you actually place it in the DraftKings app?
Yes.
FanDuel?
No, not FanDuel. Why would I bet FanDuel? Although FanDuel sometimes has had better odds.
Just making sure, Andrew, that you're not a fraud.
So there were 10 teams that I picked. I went 8 for 10, and of the 2 that I missed on, it was the I had the 49ers beating the Seahawks, and I had the Ravens beating the Steelers. Total, what is that? 7, 8, a total of 8 points between me and the 10-team parlay payout.
Okay, so let me talk about the Ravens real quick. I don't want to take too much time because we did not win, and so I don't want to give the spotlight to the Steelers any more than I want to. One, Lamar has really fallen off this year. He started off really hot, and we're always in these really close games, and usually it's up to Lamar to flip that 50-50 game, which he's done pretty well this season so far.
Yeah.
He has a tendency to hold on to the ball for way too long. I think he's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. I think he's officially the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. He also leads the NFL, I want to say, in interceptions. Okay? So let's pretend.
Really? I didn't. I guess.
Let's pretend those two things are true. I'm 90% sure they are, that he leads the league in interceptions, and he's also the most sacked quarterback. He throws interceptions in the red zone way too often, and that takes points off the board. He did that in this game. He threw an intercept. I mean, we had a beautiful drive. We're in the red zone, and then he does one of those things where he takes 100 steps back in the pocket and then throws off one of his legs, and it goes straight to a defender in the end zone for the Steelers. Mm-hmm. Interception. TJ Watt was giving him trouble all fucking game long.
To be fair, Watt would give most people trouble. I not to take away from the fact that it sucks, but Watt is a problem. He is a phenomenal defensive end.
Great insight, Andrew. And then also,
that's what I'm here for.
Also, the last, so we're losing. We at the last second we score a touchdown. Okay, with seconds expiring from the clock to tie the game. All we need to do is kick an extra point to tie the game, and we decide to go for 2.
Where was this game at?
It was in Pittsburgh.
Do you like the call to go for 2?
So as soon as I found out that we were going for 2, I immediately hated it. I didn't care what the outcome was. I liked the aggression of John Harbaugh and Lamar in certain situations. Going for it on 4th down to ice the game against the Chiefs, that's great, especially since they couldn't stop Lamar's run game that entire game. When you have been sacked 6.5 times this game and you have receivers like Mark Andrews already dropping balls during the game, you do not go for 2. You do not go for 2 because there's too much of a chance that you're going to get sacked, that the ball is not going to get caught, that the ball is going to get intercepted. There's too many variables inside the game for that specific game. Okay? We went for 2, threw it to Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews has to catch that ball. I know a lot of people gave Lamar shit, but TJ Watt was seconds away from him. TJ Watt just went right at Lamar. Lamar had to get rid of the ball, and he threw a catchable ball. It hit Mark Andrews' hands. That's a catchable ball. Mark Andrews needs to catch that ball. It's a 2-point conversion. I don't fucking care. You lay out and then get back up. You have to catch. You have to catch that ball.
I thought it was a little high, but it was definitely catchable. It was not wow, Lamar fucked that up. But it could have been a better ball. However, Mark Andrews, I've seen him catch harder balls, and he should have caught that one. I liked the call for going for 2. I like going for 2 when you're on the road. You're already going to be
okay. But how about this, Andrew? Do most teams that go into overtime have the greatest kicker of all time that can nail 66-yarders?
It's less about, because going for the tie, let's say because obviously he's going to hit that extra point and you're going to go into overtime. That's a coin flip. It is literally a coin flip. There's so many teams you don't even get a shot. If they score a touchdown, you don't even get to put the ball in Lamar's hands. That's a little.
So
that sucks. It's just you have the shot right there. You're on the 15. You've got your shot at scoring. I don't hate going for it. I really don't.
I don't hate being aggressive. I've loved the aggressiveness for going on 4th downs throughout the season, what we've done. However, that specific game, that specific moment, we have Justin Tucker at our ready. you take it into overtime. Now, I will say that John Harbaugh has since come out and said the reason why that he went for 2, and this makes perfect sense, so I will forgive him for this decision and I'll let it go, is that Marlon Humphrey, who is our best cornerback, he is out for the season. And he got injured late in the fourth quarter. I think he tore an ACL, an MCL. I always get those fucking things mixed up. Maybe a shoulder or two. I don't know. It's good enough that he will be missing the rest of the season. And we did not have any playable cornerbacks at that time.
I mean, yeah. And
so we didn't have any corners. So we didn't have any corners.
What are you going to do? I mean, it's Lamar go play corner. Like, you can't. It's not like you could just take somebody and throw them out there and be like, because they were going to get burned, and then the chance that they would score a touchdown goes way up with that news. It's just like, so
now that I know that information,
right,
I'll forgive him. If we still had if we had healthy corners, I'm saying we don't go for 2 in that situation, and you win the game with Justin Tucker. Also, by the way, Chris Boswell, the Steelers kicker, had missed an extra point like literally that game, so he was already in his own head.
All right. Next up, 49ers, Seahawks. Seahawks win it 30-23. And if I could tell you what stat line encapsulates the whole game, it's the Seattle running back Travis Homer. 3 carries, 80 yards, 1 touchdown. That's the game.
That's the game, baby.
Well, Kittle had a phenomenal game too. He had like 9, maybe 10 catches, and he had like 180 something yards. And I think he scored twice. Let me see here. Yeah, he scored twice. And it's cool. Good for George Kittle, but I feel like he's been quiet all fucking year. I hate San Francisco. I hate them so much. I hate their coaching. I like some of their players. I hate their coaching.
I don't care about the 49ers. I want the Seahawks to be good because I have DK Metcalf and I need him to play well this week to make the playoffs. So please keep feeding the ball to DK Metcalf. He's one of the best receivers in the league, and you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Please, for the love of God, Pete Carroll, feed DK Metcalf the goddamn ball.
He's scared. He can't do it.
Okay.
I think he's lost his touch. That, or like they switched his meds. I don't know like what his.
He's 70. He is 70.
That his traveling nurse is like gonna lose her job if they don't start winning football games. So Broncos Chiefs. Chiefs win it 22-9. This was an ugly game.
This is such a terrible game. I hated watching this. This is a Sunday night game. I fucking hated it. I watched it. Of course, I watched it.
Yeah, just Sunday night.
Teddy Bridgewater's terrible.
Teddy Two Gloves.
I guess the Chiefs. Look, what are the Chiefs now? The Chiefs are
8-4.
Yeah, they've officially bounced back. They're not. They don't.
They're not.
Good, but they're winning games now. So,
but the thing that sucks from a sports betting perspective, a football fan, and even a fantasy like player, the Chiefs exist as what they are, and if they make the playoffs, it's depending obviously on who they play. Like, unless they're playing the Bucks, almost anyone that they play in the playoffs, I would go, they've got a shot because they're the Chiefs. And I don't know when that's gonna mentality is gonna leave my mind, but
it won't
because they could turn it on. They could turn it on at any second
as long as they have players like Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and fucking Travis Kelce. They're going to be that team that even if they're losing, they could win the next game because they could figure it out.
And then to wrap it up, we have the Patriots and the Bills. Patriots win it 14-10.
Do you want to hear an awesome story about this game real quick?
I would love to.
I pretty much have to win out in one of my fantasy leagues to make the playoffs. Last week was included. I had to win the game to even have a chance at making the playoffs, which will be next week, not this week, but next week. So I have to win this week too. So I'm not out of the woods yet. I went into that game up 2 points. 2 points. And the person I was playing had one player to play who was playing Monday night. He was down by 2. He just needed to score more than 2 points. He had Myers, He had a Patriots wide receiver, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, unless he gets injured or something, there's pretty much no chance. And what did Bill Belichick do going into this game? He pretty much decided, because of the wind and the weather conditions, that they were not going to pass the ball to anyone.
And they didn't.
And they ran the entire fucking game. Myers didn't get a single target.
Dude, and that leads into like the stat that so this is Mac Jones' stat line in the first half. 1 completion, 12 yards, 116.7 passer rating. Like, I mean, and that's if you are Sean McDermott, the head coach for the Buffalo Bills, that's a little bit of an embarrassment. I get that the wind is bad. I understand, but you've got a rookie quarterback. They aren't throwing the football. They are literally not throwing the football.
They're running it every single time.
And the wind is bad enough when they're not facing it or they're not with it that if they do have to throw it, your corners should be able to make a play, right? You've got to stack that box score. You have to. Like you cannot tell me that Bill Belichick and the Patriots are so scary that you can't fathom like loading an extra guy into that box, right? But I guess whatever, he clowned him. So
clowned him hard, dude. Let me look real quick because I'm pretty sure Mac Jones, yeah, he was 2 for 3.
He threw 4 times.
Nope.
2 for 3. There you go.
He was 2 for 3, 19 yards, and the lucky receivers were tight end. Jonnu Smith had 1 reception for 12 yards. That's what you just said. That passer rating, and Brandon Bolden, who is pretty much a running back, he got 1 reception for 7 yards. That's it. That is it.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
All righty here. Want to get into our picks?
Yes.
Starting with Pittsburgh versus Minnesota.
Is that tonight?
Pittsburgh. They are actually the underdogs, which I can't. They just beat the Ravens,
and the Vikings just lost.
The Vikings just fucking lost to the
Is Dalvin Cook playing? I hope not, because I'm playing against B3T sports analyst Alec this week in Dynasty.
Hold on. Give me a second here.
What happened? You
I lost your audio. That was weird. You're back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now, mother? Are you my mother?
That's a great book.
Yeah, but are you my mother?
I'm not.
Damn right you're not, Andrew. Don't ever pretend to be my mother again. Listen. What's the spread?
3.5. And I have to go first this time. Well, technically, we have to go back and forth, but I mean, I'll go.
Okay, we'll go back and forth.
We'll go back and forth. Minnesota minus 3.5. Give me the Vikings.
Wait, is Dalvin Cook playing? You never answered.
He is. Sorry, that must have been when the audio cut. He has game time decision. He is expected to play.
Fuck, I don't want him to play. Anyway. I'm playing against him in fantasy. B3T sports analyst Alec, I need you to let me win this week so I can make our playoffs. Okay. I am going to take the Vikings as well because fuck the Steelers.
Both, baby. Baltimore plays Cleveland. Cleveland are 3-point favorites.
You want to know why that is? You want to know why the Cleveland Browns, who are pretty much at the bottom of the AFC North, are favored against the Ravens?
Is it because you guys have no defense?
We have no defense.
Not that you have no defense, but you literally do not have enough people to roster a defense.
We have no defense. Marlon Humphrey was the last man standing, and now he is gone. Our team has just been butchered this season by injuries. I mean, we have 8 wins, so maybe we'll sneak into the playoffs. But, I mean, we need either Lamar and the offense to step up to make up for this, or we're just not going to win games anymore. Give me the fucking Ravens. We're beating the Browns, by the way. Fuck covering. We're going to beat the Browns outright.
All right. I'm going to take the Browns just because. Next up, Dallas,
good for
Washington.
You, man. That's really cool of you.
Dallas are 4.5-point favorites. Fuck you.
Wait, what'd you say?
Dallas, they're 4.5-point favorites against Washington football team. I'm gonna take. No, I gotta go first. That's you get your advantage.
That's right.
Give me Washington.
I will also take Washington.
They're on a hot streak, baby. I'm telling you. Las Vegas Raiders versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Holy, the Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites.
Give me the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Raiders.
I'm gonna take. Fuck it. Give me the Chiefs.
Okay.
Why do you do that?
We're tied, baby. We're tied.
Seahawks versus Houston. The Seahawks are 8.5-point favorites.
Give me Houston.
I'm gonna go Seahawks.
I think it was your turn. That was your turn
to go first. No, I went first for the. Oh yeah, no, you're right.
So now you have to go first twice now.
I mean, sure, that's fine.
Well, what do you mean? I mean, sure. That's the rules. You get skipped.
Those are not the rules. We have not written this down anywhere. Jacksonville versus Tennessee. I'll go first. Tennessee are 8.5-point favorites. I think that's an easy Tennessee pick.
Give me Tennessee as well.
Both. We got the Saints versus the Jets. The Saints are 5.5-point favorites. And I'm going to go with give me the Jets.
Wow, I'm going Saints.
That would be smarter, but I just don't believe in anything that's going on there.
I mean, you believe in the Jets?
No.
I don't want to discourage your pick. That's just a point for me. So let's get on to the next game.
Falcons, Panthers. Panthers are 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Falcons because the Panthers are doo-doo. And I know the Falcons are doo-doo, and I'm saying this respectfully because I know both of you are Panthers fans. The Panthers are doo-doo. They're really bad.
We just canned our offensive coordinator last week.
Good, because you
now,
guys are
granted,
doo-doo.
if you're going to get rid of your offensive coordinator, the week the week before your bye week is the best week in the middle of the season to do it because you have 2 weeks then to figure out your game plan, and to have somebody step up into that role. But I do not have high hopes. I will take the Panthers though because it's in my blood. Next up, Giants, Chargers. Chargers are 9.5-point favorites.
This is you.
Sure is, and I'm taking the Chargers.
I'm also taking the Chargers.
Both. Next up, Detroit Broncos. The Broncos are 10-point favorites.
Give me the Lions, but not to win.
Give me the Lions.
But not to win. They got their win of the season. They probably won't win again. Broncos are bad.
Denver's not.
Broncos are bad.
No, there's no fucking way. Buffalo versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, they are 3.5-point favorites.
This will be a good game. Is this the Sunday night game?
This is not the Sunday night game. This is a brilliant 3:25 game.
Yummy. Give me the Bucks.
Me too. Both. Then we got San Francisco versus the Bengals. San Francisco are 2-point favorites. And I am going to take the Bengals.
I will also take the Bengals.
Next up. Okay, so that's going to be both of us on the Bengals. Next up, we've got Chicago Bears with the Green Bay Packers. Packers are 12.5-point favorites. Who you got?
That is a big spread.
Yeah,
the Bears are so bad, but it's divisional, and I'll take the Bears.
Could be Matt. You'll take the Bears? I will take the Packers.
I'll take the Bears to cover. 12.5? That's a lot.
A lot. That is. And then finally, the Monday night game, the Rams versus the Cardinals. Cardinals are 2-point favorites. I am going to take oh my fucking God. Give me the Cardinals.
I will also take the Cardinals. Fuck the Kings of Fraudland.
Boom, those are our picks.
All right, baby. Oh, wait, no, you missed. Wait, does this team have a bye?
The Grapefruit team?
Fuck you.
Every time I come around your city, bling.